Jason Wilson has been someone whose content that as I come across it every time is always something powerful, and he's constantly speaking to the fight against the idea of men and not in us being able to be what he calls being the comprehensive man, one of emotional intelligence, one who responds, not reacts. And what I love to see is how he intertwines his faith as a Christian, intertwines his martial arts, life lessons, and all of these things to help and teach men how to handle and deal with emotions, how to overcome certain things, and to really normalize to men in general the idea that it's okay to feel things and to have emotions. And so I'm gonna give y'all, I might do a series, I might not, I don't know, but I have his book Battle Cry. I'm really considering getting his newest book, The Man the Moment Demands. I'm gonna just go through my little notes and stuff that I was taking. My son is in the background, that's why the Paw Patrol is on, you feel me? Alright. The first chapter is called Escaping Emotional Incarceration, and he defined emotional incarceration as a self-imposed mental imprisonment when a man confines his non-masculine emotions and isolates his heart from the world. This has shown up true in my life. For example, even in my marriage, there could be things that my wife does, but I'll bite it. I'll hold my tongue. Hey, it is what it is, you know? Because as a man, we've been programmed to really think our feelings don't matter because of the idea protect, provide. What do those two things do? They do for others and not for ourselves, right? And so we'll bite our tongue. I'll bite my tongue. I won't say nothing to my wife, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm trying to be a good husband. And, you know, it's no biggie. But if the roles are reversed, the smallest thing that bothers her that I might do, she's going to express it. Why is it okay for a woman to do that and not us? What he's saying is true, because when we don't speak to things, and that's what women do well, that we should really learn to do more often. They will speak on it. And sometimes we bite our tongue because we just like, yo, we just want to keep the peace. We don't want no problems. It's not that deep. But when we let these things, we put them under the rug, put it under the rug, you're only doing yourself a disservice, your relationship a disservice, because you're not allowing that person the opportunity to make the change, to show you how much they love you by making the change. Like he said, we feel buried, overwhelmed, bitter, and resentful. That stuff is going to linger. I've heard someone say that a relationship has survived cheating, but it won't survive unforgiveness, bitterness, because those are the things that linger. So they will, because he can't help but to bleed on those around him. We can't help it. If we have unresolved issues, trust issues, right? Those who you say you love and those who say they love you, you will be bleeding on them because of something that happened years ago with someone you really said was a friend, someone that you really was down for, and they betrayed you. And so now you like, nah, I'm not trusting people no more. Or maybe a girl cheated on you, and now you like, nah, I'm not trusting her. I'm not trusting women no more. That's only gonna do, it's only gonna be bad for your relationships moving forward. Why? Because you have not forgiven that person. You have not healed from that. And so when you get in that next relationship, that residue is still on you. Because the heart always is gonna want to be. The heart is always set in self-preservation. That's why we learn from pain and failure more than success in the good times. In the pain and in the failure, your heart goes to, I don't want to feel that no more. So it's going to analyze what went wrong, what you did wrong, and it's going to make you not want to do those things anymore. So because your trust was mishandled, your heart was mishandled, now you're going to think, I shouldn't give a woman my heart no more. Nah, because the last one did what she did. I know that all too well because that happened with me. And me and my wife, we talk about it, but in all honesty, it's like, yo, I could have missed out on my son, on my marriage, all because of something that happened in a relationship before I got with my wife. I was bleeding on her. So what we need to do is stop Pause. If you see you bleeding, you're not just gonna keep carrying on. You're gonna look at, all right, and analyze, all right, I'm bleeding. What happened? How do I fix this? What I gotta do? Let me go get some bandages. Let me go do what I gotta do. But emotionally, us as men, we don't do that. Because our pride, our ego. Nah, I'm a man up. I'm gonna leave it alone. I'll be all right. It's so crazy. Like, even us as men, we can't even sit here and have honest conversations with each other about how we really feel. Bro, how you doing? I'm good. Ain't nothing. I'm good. I'm straight. How are you doing for real, though? And so, because you didn't tend to your wounds and heal, you act out of that pain. And I pray a lot about asking God to make me the example that he wants my son to follow, that he wants my son to be as well. So before I could, what's up, babies? What's up? So before I could really start telling him do X, Y, Z, he's gonna already have been watching me for years. But Dad, do you do that? Do you have self-control? Do you have patience? So why are you asking me to do that for other people? Loss of credibility if I don't show that stuff. And that's the amazing thing about Jesus. And my cousin was telling me about that. Jesus never asked his followers, he never asked us to do something he didn't already exemplify. And another thing, Jesus is the superior man. Purposeful, leader, empathetic, self-controlled. You know what I'm saying? So it's like forgiving. He cried. So it's like he did a lot of stuff that us as men, we should be following him as the blueprint. He says it's crucial that we learn how to sit still with our thoughts and feelings so we can express how we feel without losing control, self-control. I agree. It is very crucial because if we don't have self-control, we lash out. Again, going back to the previous point, we bleed on those who love us. We lash out on people because of our own baggage and things we didn't intend to. He goes on to say, be not deceived. Do not be deceived. The same thoughts that imprisoned you will rise up again when you make a mistake, face a trial, get in an argument with your wife, or lose patience with your children. This is facts. When we bury things, all you doing is pushing it to the side for it to show up at a later date and time. That's all we doing. You postponing it. That's all we really doing. So, yeah, the best thing we do, sit still and ask ourselves, what and why? What am I feeling? Why am I feeling it? And then to go confess whoever wronged us or whoever hurt our feelings, to confess that. If it's your man's, if it's your girl, whatever. We have to work on releasing emotions and not holding it and hoarding it, because then we're going to look like a mess. And that's just straight up facts. That's chapter 1. Go get the book, because just even based off of the things that I've already said to y'all about the things that I took away from the first chapter, you already know this joint is some fire. And so I see how even myself as a man, how sometimes like the self-control part in my marriage is what I want to learn to become. I want to be patient. The Bible tells husbands, love your wives as Christ has loved the church. So now when I'm thinking about how Christ loved the church, showing patience, kindness, gentleness, heart of a servant, forgiveness, understanding, all of these different things, right, is what the scriptures is telling husbands. This is the blueprint and this is what you need to model to your wife. But there are times where me and my wife, we get in a disagreement, or, we going back and forth and stuff. Or there may be some things my wife is saying, I feel like you don't do this, or I feel like you don't do that I may disagree with. And in my head, I'm taking it as her saying I don't do X, Y, Z and X, Y, Z. And taking it as an attack instead of listening to her heart in the situation. I want to learn how to not take those things personal. Having self-control and saying, I hear your heart. I don't give you words of affirmation. You're not attacking me. You're just saying, I feel loved when you do X, Y, Z. Now, should she just come out and just say, I love when you do X, Y, Z? Sure. But sometimes we have our disagreements. We have our things where my wife can say certain things and I want to rise above it and say, I hear your heart in the situation and I understand. I understand. And so, because I understand, I'm not going to react to what you said. I will respond in a proper manner. Take accountability and move on. Instead of going this tit for tat back and forth, yada, 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 only to put us in a bad spot. But it starts with being able to have self-control, have self-awareness, understand, and have emotional intelligence. It's not just about your own emotions, but also understanding the emotions of the other person as well. So us as men, we got work to do, and I hope this book is a blessing to y'all, because it was a blessing to me. I might do a follow-up video on chapter 2, giving y'all my little joints that I got from it, giving you my personal experience and things of that nature. My son is in the background, going wild style, feet all in the air. Yes, I'm talking about you. He just discovered his toes, so he going crazy. But anyway, I pray this video is a blessing and helpful to y'all. And yeah, y'all stay up, stay blessed. Peace and love. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe, get in the comments and let me know how y'all felt about this video, some of the things that were brought up from the book, from my perspectives and things of that nature. So I hope it was helpful. Y'all stay up. Peace and love, and all of that. May the Lord be with you.